So, hi, I'm Peter SIdwell, welcome to our test kitchen. It's lunchtime, so we thought we'd film it. And we're going to use up leftovers today, so we have literally raided the fridge. We're filming all day yesterday, filming today, and we're emptying the fridge. So leftovers is a great way to cook, and I would say most chefs love leftovers. So, I've got a red onion here, so we're just going to slice this up. And what I'm going to make is a lovely hash with poached egg. We've got black pudding, chorizo, we've got cooked potatoes from yesterday, spring onion, coriander, and then I'm going to start it all off just with a little bit of red onion. I don't know about you, but I've always got onions in the fridge. So just slice up nice and fine. There we go. I've got the pans, both pans hot and ready to go, which is important when you're cooking. Sounds daft and you think it's obvious, but do you know what? There's nothing worse than doing all this and then coming to a cold pan. Okay, so a little bit of olive oil into the pan. There we go. We don't want much because we've got items that have got fat in them. And then I'm just gonna take my onions straight into the pan. And then a little bit of salt will help draw the moisture out and make the onions go all caramelized and lovely. So, chorizo next. So, cut it in half, long ways. And then we're just gonna chop it into cubes. We don't wanna chop it too small, otherwise it'll just disappear. But we want all the lovely fats out of that and getting lovely. There we go. Right, so potatoes. I am just gonna kind of crush the potato like that, you see? And then just chuck it in. I'm not even gonna chop it because I want texture. And the way that you do that is just by breaking it, and you get lovely little crispy bits and gnarly bits. And let's be honest, that's what it's all about. There we go. In it goes. Oh, lovely. Brill. This is for Emily's lunch. So Emily's behind the camera and runs away at the sight of the camera, but she needs feeding. So I've got 10 grams of butter. I'm going to pop that in to kind of help everything get going. And then we've got this delicious Cumbrian black pudding. And it comes in a block because it's cooked in a great big tray rather than done in sausages in other parts. So chorizo, black pudding, all works well. All topped with a good poached egg. So, cube up the black pudding. I'm going to crank this up to full heat now because I want my crispy bits. Okay? So that can all go in there. And let's just make sure that we just move all this around. Look, let me show you that. Look. And you'll start to get a little orange. Do you see that? Look. You see those little orange tinges there? That's the chorizo, the fat coming out of the chorizo and getting all lovely and crispy. So, use the back of your spoon and just sort of kind of pad everything down and get one layer so that as it cooks and you leave it still, don't touch it, you'll get all those lovely crispy bits that you really want. And then we'll give it a good turn over and then it'll be ready. Right. So that's cranked up to full heat. Now we're going to talk about poaching eggs, all right? I love poached eggs. Good fresh eggs. I bought these from Booths this morning. That is the secret to a good poached egg. It's good eggs, fresh eggs all the time. So my pan of water is just under boiling, so it's kind of simmering. And then I've got this awesome coffee cup that I stole from a hotel. I shan't name the hotel. But it did accidentally come in my suitcase after I'd stayed there for a few days working. And it's the perfect little kind of poached egg size cup. Alright? So we just crack our egg straight in, okay? There we go. Right. We don't need salt, we don't need vinegar, we don't need nothing in this water. The idea is that you submerge the cup, you let the water in and it pushes the egg out, okay? So we're just going to drop it in, push the cup under the water. The water's coming into the cup and then we just really gently release it. And that's it. But don't boil the life out of it, otherwise you end up with a really tough egg white. You just want it to sit and bubble away, a bit like in a jacuzzi. You know, do you imagine you're in the bath, just sit. Let it just poach nice and gently. Okay, so we'll do another one in a minute because I'm not just feeding Emily. I need feeding too. Okay, right, let's have a little look at this. You see this, Emily? So, if I just start to shake this pan now, you should start, look at the crispy bits. That's what we want, look. Crispy bits. It's all about the crispy. Okay, so we get that back on the pan. And the only way that you'll do that is by not touching it. Don't mess about with it, don't fiddle it. Just let it sit against the heat and crisp. All the fats will come out and crisp up your potatoes. So to finish it off and make it nice and fresh and lovely, we're going to do a couple of things. So I've got some spring onions. I'm going to shred these really, really fine so that we, you know, if you didn't have spring onions, you could use chives, but you don't get the crunch that you get with spring onions. Okay, so I'm going to slice the white and slice the greens so that you get a really nice kind of herby, kind of fresh, savoury crunch. Right, spring onions. And then I'm actually going to dress it. Now, a little bit, do some wonderful salad dressings. And we, you know, these guys were one of the first businesses to join Simply Good Food TV. And they've got some lovely salad dressings. And it's not always for salads. I love dressing vegetables and meats and all sorts of stuff. So after, you know, we are hitting the cupboards today. So it is all about the leftovers. So, oh, look at that. That's got some good crispy bits. Okay, so in with our spring onions, okay? So in with the fresh and the green. And that's gonna really bring it together. Okay, and then in with our little bits dressing. Okay? And I always make a space in the pan. Okay? And what I do is then I add the dressing, let it warm a little bit, and then we mix it all together. And if you can do this, great. You know, if you can't, just use a spoon. There we go. Wow, looks good. Right, got a plate here. Put it on a white one so we can see everything. Turn the heat off. And you can see I haven't touched the egg. I haven't done anything with it. I've just let it sit there nice and gently. Just kind of hanging around in that hot water, poaching beautifully. Saying that now, we've got to get the runny yolk now. We've got to get the runny yolk shot. So, let me grab my spoon. And just give it a wipe. And then we just lift the egg. So it's not done anything. It's not bounced around. It's not moved. It's just sat and chilled. Well, it's just sat and poached, basically. And then just slide it on. That's it. And then I always was taught black pepper on my eggs. And then we found a little bit of sad coriander at the back of the fridge. And it seems like a nice idea. So we'll put a little bit of coriander on there. It'd be quite nice actually. Chorizo, black pudding, coriander. And there we go. That is how to make an awesome leftovers. And I'm now going to crack the egg so that Emily can film it because that's all she's bothered about.